Hi, everyone. Today we're diving into a tough topic: emotional manipulation in relationships. Please stick with me till the end.
What if I told you that the reason you feel so stuck, so confused, so unable to leave a painful relationship has nothing to do with your strength and everything to do with how your brain was specifically hijacked? Today, we're diving into the neuroscience of emotional manipulation. And let me be clear, this isn't about character, it's about chemistry.
And this is the question, isn't it? It's the one that keeps so many people up at night. You know something is wrong. Your friends can see it, but the thought of actually walking away, it feels completely impossible, like trying to swim against a tidal wave. Well, here's the answer. This is the core of this entire explainer. The reason it feels impossible is because it's not a simple choice that you're just failing to make. Your brain's own survival systems, the very things designed to keep you safe and connected, have been hacked and turned against you. Okay, so think of your prefrontal cortex as the CEO of your brain. It's the part that handles rational thought, long-term planning, and protecting yourself. But when you're in a state of constant emotional stress, the brain's alarm system basically stages a coup, and the CEO gets suppressed. So no, you're not losing your mind. You're just operating with your decision-making center temporarily taken offline. Okay, so let's break down how this actually happens, because this hijack isn't just random chaos. It follows a really predictable three-phase attack that targets your brain chemistry. And honestly, understanding the playbook is the first step to taking back control. So it goes like this. First, a flood of bonding chemicals to get you to lower your guard. Then, a crisis of stress hormones to create confusion and self-doubt. And finally, a powerful addiction loop to get you hooked. Let's dig into each one. So phase one kicks off with love bombing. This is just a fire hose of affection, attention, and making you feel like the center of the universe. It's all designed to get your brain to release a massive amount of oxytocin. Now, what's so wild about oxytocin is that it literally tells your brain's threat detector, the amygdala, to just stand down. It creates this powerful chemical feeling of safety long before any real trust has been earned. And then, phase two begins, devaluation. Suddenly the warmth becomes unpredictable. Little jabs and criticisms start to creep in. This constant back and forth puts your brain into a state of chronic stress, and it starts pumping out the hormone cortisol. And this part is absolutely crucial. Science shows that when you're swimming in cortisol for too long, it can physically damage the hippocampus, which is your brain's memory center. And this right here explains why gaslighting is so incredibly effective. When a manipulator says, "That never happened," or "You're just being dramatic," they aren't just arguing with you. They're arguing with a brain whose ability to remember things clearly has been physically weakened by stress. You start doubting your own reality because your own biology is being used as a weapon against you. And all of this leads right into phase three, the dopamine trap. Now, we often think of dopamine as the pleasure chemical, but it's really the chemical of motivation. It's what drives you to seek a reward. And the thing that sends dopamine into overdrive isn't getting a guaranteed reward, it's the chance of an unpredictable one. And that is the neurochemical engine of the trauma bond. Think about it like this. A vending machine gives you a candy bar every time. It's reliable, sure, but it's not very addictive. A slot machine, on the other hand, well, it pays out totally unpredictably. And it's that maybe this time feeling that gets you completely hooked. The manipulator's cycle of kindness and cruelty turns them into a human slot machine, and your brain gets addicted to pulling the lever, just hoping for that next small win. So let's be really clear about this, because it's probably the most important thing to understand. Your brain was not addicted to the person. It was addicted to the pattern. It was hooked on the intermittent reinforcement schedule they created. It was just chasing those little dopamine spikes from the unpredictable moments of warmth. This is pure biology. It is not a judgment on you. And this is exactly why trying to leave feels like a genuine physical withdrawal. Because it is. Your brain is detoxing from a powerful chemical cocktail. So these symptoms, the insomnia, the obsessive thoughts, that literal ache in your chest, the urge to check their social media, that's not weakness. It's not proof you need them back. It is the normal, expected sign that your nervous system is starting to heal. So, if the common advice to just leave doesn't work because your brain's CEO is on forced vacation, what do? Well, you can't just fight your own biology, but you can work with it. Let's talk about a recovery blueprint, a kind of manual override to get your brain back online. Okay,
3 practical steps. First, the 24-hour rule. After any kind of emotional flare-up, you commit to not responding or making any decisions for 1 full day. This gives those stress hormones time to fade and lets your prefrontal cortex come back to work. Second, find your mirror people. These are trusted friends who knew you from before, who can act as an external hard drive for your reality when you're drowning in gaslighting. And third, the digital detox. No contact. And remember, this isn't a punishment. It's a neurological necessity. You have to unplug the slot machine to break the addiction. And here's some real science-backed hope for you. Research shows that after about 90 days of sustained no contact, there are measurable drops in cortisol levels. Your brain's chemistry starts to find its balance again. The first few weeks are absolutely the hardest, but there is a biological finish line you can actually work towards. So what's your ultimate tool for recovery? It's something you already have. It's called neuroplasticity. This is your brain's incredible, almost magical ability to rewire itself based on new experiences. And get this, it's the exact same mechanism that allowed the trauma bond to form in the first place.
I really want you to let this one sink in. You weren't flawed. You had a normal, healthy brain that was designed to bond with other people. That's not a weakness. That's a feature of being human. The fault isn't in your operating system. It's with the person who chose to exploit it.
The simple fact that your brain was changed by this experience is the ultimate proof that it can be changed again. Using that same superpower of neuroplasticity, you can intentionally build new pathways of self-trust, of peace, and of clarity. It just takes time, safety, and a deliberate plan. So look, understanding the neuroscience, it's not an excuse, it's an explanation. And most importantly, it gets to lift that heavy weight of self-blame off your shoulders. You've just been handed the blueprint to the machine. You can finally see the glitch in the system. The only question left is, are you ready to run the fix?